Is life really as good as they say for those who live in KL City?
You're listening to Jom Sembang Malaysia.
I'm actually asking this question is because, right, a lot of people always think that, oh, that's the story or rather the preconceived notion.
Okay, the myth.
That people come to KL to find success. Or they will find success in KL. Okay. And of course, success, you like it or not, there is the whole happiness lah, whatever lah. But a big part of success, or at least one part of success, has to do with finance.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't even have the money to eat, how do you be
Yeah.
happy when you are starvation lah?
Betul.
Okay. So today, I think what I really want to focus on is actually, right, on the financial stuff when it comes to living in the city. And also some of the things or some of the financial things that we wish we know much earlier in life lah.
Okay.
I think I can really say that because I'm not very young. So I can say that looking back, there are a lot of things I wish my younger self knew lah.
Okay.
All right. So I think I prepared some questions today just to get our thinking engine rolling lah, you know.
The juices, huh?
Okay. So I think the big main question here is, would you choose to invest or save your money? At your current age, not like when you're 21, when you're still earning money, you're chionging money. Let's talk about the
Invest
now first.
Or save? Can I be safe and say both?
You can, but you need to elaborate.
Okay. So, would you prefer? Is it?
Would you choose?
Would you choose? Okay, you know I'm generally quite not spendthrift. No, wait, what does this spendthrift even mean?
No, you are spendthrift.
No, wait, I'm confused. I don't spend money very much.
That's why you're thrifty.
I'm thrifty. Thrifty is the word, yes. So saving is by default lah, in a sense that in saving versus spending lah.
But I'm talking about saving versus investing.
Correct.
Right?
Nowadays I don't think of saving that much. I'm spending a little more. But in savings versus investing, I don't invest in like high stakes things. So I've never really been drawn to invest in high risk stuff. So stocks, Bitcoin, I don't feel drawn to it.
Okay.
But there comes a point where your banker tells you, we've got this new product which is pretty safe. So I'm quite medium to low risk kind of.
But you do take some money and invest lah.
I will, and I actually feel quite good about it.
And at what age do you start it?
Okay, I grew up doing the FD thing. I don't know whether it's called investment or not.
Okay.
Not half. It's not really investment lah. It's just savings with a bit more interest. Maybe in my late 20s, maybe.
Oh, why my friend never tell me to invest one? I'm a very traditional person. Okay. Like for me, right? Maybe because it comes from a family background, a financial background where my father is the one got money come in, spend, got money come in, spend. So when it comes to me, it's like got money come in, save. Got money come in, save. But there wasn't anyone in the family who talks about finance management. That they didn't tell you saving is not going to grow your money. In fact, you lose money because of inflation.
So do you consider FD saving, or it wasn't even in the picture? Like keep in the bank kind of thing?
Yeah, but I didn't even started on FD.
Okay.
Because of my family, the way it's functioned last time.
Okay.
Right? So it was always like if I put FD, I cannot take it out during rainy days and lose the interest. So it wasn't even in that level 1 investment, if you want to call it. Yeah. So it took a long time until it's only the last 2 years that I started thinking about investment. So I'm a very late bloomer.
All right.
And probably it's also because I don't have a fixed job.
Yeah.
So investing when you don't have a fixed job is a bit tricky. So it's like when I first started and I work in the bank, well, you work in the bank, you should know about investment and all that. See,
that's why I don't tell you lah.
See, so but you see, because of my whole background with my family financial situation, all I know is I must have money for rainy days.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to make the money grow. Maybe because I don't want to think about the risk or whatever. It's safer to just have it there. So for the longest time, it was saving.
Right.
It's until the last 2 years that inflation hit so bad and everything is so bad. And I look at the saving, it's like, it's not happening. I cannot, it's also come with age lah.
Okay.
It reached a point where I cannot retire with this. Then I needed to start thinking about, so how am I going to retire? How do I make it work? So there's more awareness about investment in the sense that last time people who do investment is hush one. Right?
It's not something you
don't talk about
unless you're the boasting type. You want the whole world to know.
So right, back then, investment or during my time at least,
Yeah.
it's not a active topic or awareness topic.
Okay.
It used to be like back then they said, okay, when you earn your first job, you should save money, don't overspend, don't get a loan. My era was don't have debts.
Yes, my era also. That's what my
Alright.
mother always tell me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, don't borrow money and stuff like that. So it was that era.
Yeah.
And the first introduction to investment is probably you buy insurance. If you don't touch in the next 30 years, you get back some returns. That was my only small understanding of investment.
Okay.
You know, and that was it. So now moving forward, I realized a lot of my friends are like doing stock market.
Okay.
Or like invest in something that 1 year later give you something.
Would you consider stock market investment or gambling?
Gambling lor. For me, right, investment is a gambling. You invest in something there's no guarantee of gaining or losing. That itself is an act of gambling.
Okay.
For me lah.
Yeah.
For me lah.
Yeah.
So for me, FD is not investment. It's a fixed one. You sure gain one. You just gain lesser only. You know, investment is really taking a risk equals to investment. If you're putting your money in and it's definitely duplicating one, itu bukan. I don't call investment lah.
But there are different levels of it lah. So when I consider myself low risk, right? So the investment is such that, okay, let's say I buy 5,000 units of something. The 5,000 units is there. Your value of each unit might fluctuate, but it won't be like my 5,000 units will crash and burn, and chances of that happening is close to zero lah, in a sense. So the level of risk is more like, oh, we can get you, and of course different people talk different lah. Some is like, oh, I don't even know what kind of percentage. I just know it's more than FD. But it's like if you might not get that level, you might get lesser, you might get maybe only 1%. So in a sense, it's like if I had put FD, it might have been better, right? So there is that kind of risk lah. But in a sense, it's still very low risk kind of investment lah. But
I also looking back, I also think that back at least 10, 15 years ago, investment was something that you needed someone to help you with. Like you needed a middle person to, I got money, invest this. Like you needed like a wealth and advisor or an agent to say, okay, take this 10,000 and invest.
Okay.
So maybe because of that, a traditional person like me, like, I need to take my money and trust somebody and do it, right? Yeah. So it immediately became, okay, let's just close this door. But the last 5-6 years, investment is as simple as you don't even need a middle person.
Yeah.
You download the app, put in money, and say, okay, today I buy stock here, today I sell stock here.
Yeah. Now Touch and Go also you can invest.
Even Touch and Go, you have like 5% or whatever percentage, right? Yeah. So investment now becomes so easy. But it also brought out a very important point to me. It's like, Gina, investment is a way forward for everyone. Not just because I have money.
Yeah.
In fact, they are teaching, the younger generation is saying, okay, every money, not like last time, you get your first paycheck, then you pay your parents, then you pay this, then you pay that, then you keep in the saving. The next generation is doing, so I get my first paycheck, first 10% goes to investment, and the rest go to the rest. The rest of the things.
Okay.
It becomes a way forward for them.
Right.
And I feel like I was late in the wagon. Like, hey, tell me earlier lah, Why you tell me now? I mean, now that it's easier, you tell me lah. But so if you ask me, right, back then I'm very traditional. I would choose to
keep it all cash.
Yes. Just sit in the bank. FD, I don't even FD because of the rainy days that I might have. I'm that silly, And now there is this whole part of investment that's opened up. But of course, there's the risk lah.
Yeah. So I suppose in hindsight, it's like when you had a full-time job, it would have been a better time to actually start rather than
I would also think
lah,
that it would be easier for me to make that decision.
Yes.
Because true. Worst come to worst, I lose my job, then I stop investing.
Yeah.
Because
now you're not sure where your next paycheck is coming from. Like, would I need this balance
but
in
you
6
see,
months' time?
The next generation is having the lifestyle that I have, right? They have a freelance lifestyle, digital nomad, work from home, whatever is it.
Yeah.
And yet they are quite into
already
investment. So they are a very smart generation.
I think it's also a mindset thing. Because I have the mindset, now I don't know where it came from, but it's almost like if let's say I've been saving, right? And suddenly I look at my bank account, I'm like, hey, what is this amount doing in my savings? It almost feels wrong. Like, why am I not putting it
somewhere?
Better use.
Correct.
Yeah, and I'm not the business type. So I can imagine like our friends who are businessmen, right?
Masih tinggi
If
sini
that kind
further.
of money, right, you can make it multiply by doing some business venture. I'm not that type at all, but at least I would think at least put lah in some mutual thing or
Some
even
FD.
even FD lah. But actually, I read Bible also got tell me that lah. Like gonna bury and put it in the ground and like you wasted it lah. I think that was when it probably
Correct.
first hit me lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But having said that, I haven't started my investing journey lah.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Alright.
I think there's a little bit too much research for me to do
Okay.
about it.
But we can talk about it. Come, I can help you.
Correct. So the next question that I wanted to ask is, would you rather be debt-free than service alone?
So my whole life, I'd have told you I would rather be debt free.
I mean, let's talk about, let's say loan is like 200,000. I mean, put amount to it lah, so that there's a context, right? Would you rather be debt-free and or take a 400,000 loan lah, since the houses in KL is bare minimum 400,000 now?
Okay, I did take a 300,000 loan for my condo. Then this was many years back.
Was
so
it
maybe
scary?
the amount was. It was because like you said, my whole life it was try not to take a loan. But for the house, my father also took a loan, ma. So
Everyone took a
it's normal.
loan.
It's something
Yeah.
that you kind of have to do when you get to that level of life.
Okay.
Not that level of life, but that age, that season
Okay.
in life. And now when I did it, I realized it was the perfect time because it was towards the end of my full-time jobbing. And then immediately, then 2 years later, I went into freelance work. So I wouldn't
Now,
have been able to get.
perfect timing is the getting the loan part,
Yeah.
right? But what
But the
about,
servicing the loan part, right?
Yeah,
is
it's
the
the
tricky part.
While it's an advantage for you to get a loan, it's a disadvantage now that you don't have a job.
Correct. So for me, it was still a be debt-free mindset in the sense that every time I could, if I see my savings go up, time to put in the house, pay up the loan. That time, I don't know about loan deals now, but that time house loan, I purposely make sure that I got a house loan that I can pay up and then my interest will drop.
Flexi home loan.
Something like that.
Flexi basically means that after a few years, you can pay a certain amount to the
Yes.
principal.
So the idea was pay it up as fast as you can. So whenever I had a gig, a job that had a substantial amount,
Like save. You got some.
yeah, pop,
okay,
it
that's
will
true.
go in already. It will definitely go in. I'll actually take the effort to write to the bank and say, okay, I'm going to pay this, go to the bank, do the paperwork and pay up.
But it was still scary lah, in a sense.
It was scary. Especially when I quit my job. It was even more scary. But I also tried to keep the monthly as
Affordable.
as affordable as possible lah. So I didn't feel like I was in above my head lah.
But
I'm very prudent lah. in
it'd
that
be hard
sense.
to say affordable when you are also in the gig economy. What is affordable when you don't have a fixed job? Like
No, but that's why I took it when I was having a fixed job. So.
easier for you lah. So for me,
Yeah.
right, I have not taken a single loan in my life.
Mm.
Despite working in the bank
Yeah.
and getting a credit card that's platinum, that can
Right.
sign off 50,000 or 100,000 on the credit card.
Ah.
I have not taken a loan.
Okay.
When I bought my first second-hand car,
Yeah.
it was cash.
Okay.
Then I bought my
Okay,
second
me
car.
too.
It's also cash. And then you all must be thinking I'm very freaking rich.
Actually, no.
But it's just that I save all the way until there
Correct.
and then I just switch my car.
Correct.
For two reasons that I
Yeah.
don't take loan. One is I feel like the bank is earning money, too much money.
Uh-huh.
It's like, why is it that I borrow 10,000 and then I need to return, I have to pay you 9,000 to borrow 10,000. So
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
thinking, it's not even a 20% interest. If you accumulate all the interest, right? What I like to do is I don't like to look at the interest rate.
Uh-huh.
I like to look at, okay, I borrowed 10,000, I need to pay within 3 years, how much am I paying in total?
The additional lah.
So the additional is 8,000.
margin
Then I
lah.
went, pay 8,000 to borrow 10,000. Bodoh.
It
Then,
won't be that much lah.
then what I would do is, I would actually don't bother touching the bank. I save the money
yeah,
and I
yeah.
just pay.
But that's old school thinking
I
lah.
pay lesser. Yeah, correct. Very, very old school thinking. I mean, you can do it with a car back then, but now cars you cannot. It's like 80K. Good
But
luck
I
saving.
I also wouldn't because of inflation rate. If I throw all my money at this one thing, I am stuck there. And inflation, actually, why?
It's assets
Yeah, the money
lah.
could actually be earning more than what I'm paying in the interest lah, especially for
Correct.
a car loan now lah. So now, in a sense, if I were to buy a new car, would I top up with cash or would I take a loan? I would take a loan if I
Okay.
can, considering
Correct.
not a full time. Yeah,
Because
job.
the money that you don't use to pay upfront can earn you more money than the interest that you're paying.
Something like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
But then I also have to be diligent in not leaving it in the savings lah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you would
sometimes
choose
have
to-
be a bit more active in putting your money to work lah, in a sense lah.
So you choose to service alone lah, in a way,
But not too much lah.
instead of being debt-free lah.
Not too much lah.
Not too much. A rational amount lah.
Yeah.
Okay. After a break, we come back to answer the third question that I have in mind.
Today's episode is brought to you by Joy Luck Penang. A pet-friendly place, you are welcome to bring your pets to chill out with you. Who knows, you might meet like-minded new friends who share the same passion as you while your pet makes a new friend too. Okay, what's the third question?
Would you like to be a millionaire? No lah. What would you do if you inherited 10 million? No lah, okay. The latest... Okay, don't ask me how I know all this information. I have like seniors, uncle, aunties who actually buy jackpot. And the latest jackpot is like 20 to 30 million.
Okay,
so let's put it at 30 million, okay?
alright.
What would you do if you suddenly inherited 30 million ringgit?
I think at this point, I would go on a faraway holiday because I think I haven't gone for a holiday for a long time.
I think it's true. I don't remember going for a holiday since the pandemic. Mainly because it's just work during pandemic and then catching up and then everything is just been non-stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that money is why I haven't gone lah per se lah, but it's almost, sometimes you look at the cost also, right? The other day I heard one auntie was saying, it's like 5 figures lah, easily 5 figures to go. And then I'm thinking, do I really, it's like, do I really want to do that? Actually, I'm quite happy here, what? Or I can just go staycation, you know what I mean? It's like just, but if you threw that kind of money at me that I can throw away, that's probably what I might do.
30 million is a lot.
I might change my house.
For me, it's a lot. For some might
I
not be a
might
lot.
buy a new house and totally ID kind of house.
Okay.
Don't know.
I would
Keep
just throw.
some for a new
I
album.
would just throw concerts.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like proper concerts that I don't have to think, can I get 500 likes because I have not enough money? Like not the likes on the social media, but the likes, the red, blue, green color spot like lah, follow like lah. Because I run so many productions, sometimes the likes makes a whole lot different, but every like is money.
Also, are you saying that you would like buy your own lights?
No, I would have a proper concert where if I wanted 500 likes, I could.
That means
I could rent it.
But you are running is your concert lah.
Yeah, I could afford it. Like, if I were to throw you a concert, I say, okay, Juwita, you can sing.
Okay.
And
You'll be
then-
the concert
And then
producer.
I want the follow like on Juwita, but I got no money. My client say, okay, no follow like, just as long as I can see her face can already. But I want to be able to have use the money and say, okay, she want 10 follow like also. I
Okay,
give her.
then I'll go on tour lah. I'll do a tour. Yeah. I mean, I'll do the concert tour. That'll be fun.
I think then
Why holiday when I can do a tour?
I don't know. Your first thought was holiday
Yeah. I think it would be more fun if I went on a
to a holiday
tour
plus
holiday
work.
tour. Yeah. Yes.
What work holiday?
Sounds like me. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it for a long time. But I remember answering this question when I was much younger, and it was really like just producing stuff was always my priority.
Okay.
Producing stuff without having to worry about the budget is a luxury that not many people have.
So our jackpot goals align.
Yeah. Then because of my current stage of life, I think when you reach your late 30s, you shouldn't be renting houses. You don't die in people's house. I rather not give people that trouble. Buy my own
She keeps
house
saying
and
that.
buy
No,
my own house.
I so absolutely wouldn't think I'm dead already. What?
Yeah. But easy for say lah, cause you have your own house ma.
Yeah, but even not.
There's not many
I mean,
things to clean up.
even if I died in a hotel, I wouldn't be thinking about the hotel owner. I'd be like, okay, go on. Nice
But
way to go.
I will probably invest in a property because I realize how much a functional property, comfortable property actually contributes to your mental health. Okay. Might or might not understand this is, for example, right? A lot of B40 lives in flats.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if you have flats where you don't have money for bed frames and you sleep on mattress,
Yeah.
compared to you have money to buy proper bed frame
Yeah,
and put a
yeah.
mattress,
Sure.
it's a whole lot different. And it changes your entire body physique, which contribute to your mental physique
True.
and your overall livelihood.
No,
lah.
absolutely. Because I have friends who, and I never realized this until I know how my friends live, right? 1 bedroom apartment, parents and then children, and the children, it works when they're babies, and then they're growing up, and then they're becoming teenagers. And there's just no space. There is no space for privacy. There's no space for growth. There's no space to study. There's no
Yeah.
space. So I can imagine, of course, that is like quite dire lah situation lah. Could be more dire if you don't have a roof, of course. But having that space where your office is conducive for work, for example, makes life a lot easier lah. I mean, even in my house now, right, I keep thinking, it would be nice to have a studio where I can teach properly. So I converted the room to a studio. And then after COVID, I felt like it's too small. I don't know why. It's like, it worked before COVID.
Because now
but-
she need to social
yeah, I don't
distancing.
know. After that, I'm like, oh, do you have a space? I'm like, I really don't want anybody to come to my house, in that sense. So then I'm also wondering, actually then, if I made the room nice and conducive, do I still want people to walk into my house, to my living room and go into my studio? I still don't know. Maybe I need to get the dual key one lah.
So I realized that most of my thoughts or goals at the end of the day when I have money is investing in myself first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're writing a essay in school, if you become million, what you do? Then normally you write, I give money to orphanage lah, I do good to the world lah, all that, right? I realized that a lot of my interest or my goal when I get money is I want to invest in myself so that I'm better.
And then you can make more money on your own.
So that I'm better equipped to bless others.
Yeah,
Because
makes sense.
sometimes we keep giving. You don't take
And
care
that
of
depletes,
yourself.
right?
Correct. So for me, I need to invest in myself before that wealth or that investment bear fruits to bless others.
True.
So it has really changed my entire way of looking at money, if I ever have money. That amount of money, Yeah. But in school, we were taught to the correct answer is give money to the orphanage, give money to feed the poor. And I was thinking, how many poor people can I feed? I should take the money and invest so that I can feed them forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And not just, okay, feed you now.
Correct. So that would have never been my answer lah. Sorry. Even in the moral paper, I would not say.
I don't even
Give it
remember
away.
whether I answered the question. I think at that age, you're too young to really understand wealth and the impact.
Yeah.
Okay, another last question. Do you
another
think
last
you
question.
can retire comfortably in KL?
Oh.
I think it's a very valid question because inflation and everything, but it's good that we are the one answering it because we're in the gig economy.
Yeah.
And KL has a lot of giggers.
Giggers. Okay. So, honest answer is, as you're maturing in life, people will tell you need at least X number of ringgit to be able to retire comfortably, right? And now people's age is growing longer and longer. And
Yes.
right? It's like, so between retirement age and death is getting longer.
Okay.
And even that first time when they told me, you're going to need this amount before you can retire, I always thought it was a ridiculous amount.
I think when I was much younger, everything was ridiculous amount. Okay, let me elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Last time, if you say, you need 1 million or 2 million to retire, it sounds immediately ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
that's to me lah.
Yeah, but when I look back on all this year, every year how much I spend, times 10, I'm ready 1 million.
No, I'm not
It's just
saying
that we spend it.
Correct. I'm not saying it's ridiculous as in, how to say?
I could never save that amount, is it?
It doesn't mean that the number is ridiculous. It means that I could never save at that amount ridiculous, So I'm thinking, why do I want to live in that kind of anxiety if I can never reach it anyway?
Interesting question.
Right? It's like, and it's going to grow, right? If I think, okay, I need to reach 1 million now just so that I can retire happily. By the time I reach 1 million, it's going to be 2 million.
Yeah.
It's like a never-ending.
Yeah, correct. But
know?
is retiring comfortably something that is active in your thought,
No.
that is in your plan, or just
No.
when it happens lah?
Yes and no. I don't think I'm that fatalistic.
I'm quite fatalistic. Remember, I don't even invest my money.
No, in a sense, it's not. Yeah, I don't. But I do think about, okay, if I cannot earn money for the next, how long could I survive in that sense? Not that I've thought about it, but I do look at the bank and I'm like, okay, let's not sink your money, sink too much of it in somewhere that in case of emergency, that kind of thing lah. But I don't know, it's like, I think in this day and age, right, you still, okay, in what I do, I think I can still earn decently enough for as long as, how to say, I am of sane mind and
Understand?
of good health
Okay.
in a sense. So things like coaching, you can continue to do. Maybe next time nobody want to hear me sing anymore, that's fine, or touch wood, don't want to say lah, why But in terms of coaching, I don't know, got no voice still cannot coach, right? I cannot explain also. But there are things I think there are things that would be able to still earn some level of income lah. Maybe not to take a cafe latte every day, maybe not. See, my standards so low, right? People drink 3 times a day. But I also don't live a spendthrift life. Yeah, that's the word. I don't like splurge way beyond. Even when I like this breakfast this morning or so, I'm like, okay, this is like quite, more than I need
Just
to
in
spend
case
on.
you're wondering, we went for a proper English breakfast today
Big
because
breakfast. No, it wasn't even the big breakfast. It wasn't.
yeah, it was just a cafe breakfast, which is rare that we
Yeah,
do lah.
yeah.
Just decided to just
So we consider it splurge, but
because
generally people are everyday like that. I
correct.
think, yeah.
It's like it was a very intentional decision. Like, okay, today we go and splurge at the cafe because it's been a long week lah, long month lah, or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, and we're not talking about like breakfast that costs you 200 ringgit. It's just it's just like proper. Each one have a latte, each one have a plate of breakfast. 80 ringgit for us is like, oh, that's like it won't happen again for the next 2 months.
You sure or not? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if I don't need, I can eat my pan mee.
But this is very interesting because I was talking to you about my female friends. This lady who's like about 70 plus 80. So the other day I asked her, because she no longer works. And I don't know how she support herself.
Okay.
And I know that she's not like a businessman and then you stop working, got money pass somewhere. I know that she's the one who's probably like me lah, don't invest, no, that kind of thing. So I was curious. You are 40 years in front of me.
Yeah.
How is it that you don't invest but you still alive?
Got pension or not?
And all that. So I actually asked her, so how? Your money come from where?
Wow, so direct. But it's a good question though.
Like, I just tell her, I'm very curious. We are same lifestyle. You are a writer, I'm a writer. We know that book royalties don't fit us, especially if you don't write new ones and stuff like that. She's popular, she's a veteran, but I know that she don't sell as much book as me because she writes English classic. Yeah. And stuff like that. And she's so old that she finds that, old and senior lah, in a way that you have 4 generation gap with the students.
Yeah.
So she used to lecture and she like cannot.
Okay.
Like she doesn't like to do slides and they are like, where is my notes? So she find teaching. So she been teaching lesson or that. And I say, then where the money come from? Because you are not a businessman. You don't have financial bank sitting down there, you know? Then she just said, oh, I just need bare minimum 1,500. Okay, 500
So
to pay all the
her-
utilities, whatever, and 1,000 to eat.
Her own house lah. No need pay rent lah.
Yeah. So I said, okay, 5,000 is like maintenance lah, the monthly condo maintenance fee or whatever not, plus electric bill, internet bill or whatever not, and then 1,000 to eat. And then she said, I don't eat much.
500 you mean? Just like you said
500,
5,000.
correct. So
Okay.
500 for all these utilities and then 1,000 for like makan or whatever.
Yeah.
But she really don't eat much, I know. She buy a loaf of bread, can last
Okay
her
lah,
3
that's true
days.
lah. When you get old, you don't eat very much also.
So, but my question is, 1,500, if you're not lecturing and you're not doing anything.
Where does it come from?
Yeah. So she said, currently I just use my saving a little bit. Not much left, but I hope I die soon lah.
Oh, wow.
So, and I said, let's think of ways to work it out.
Aw, so sweet.
So I said, let's do workshop since you're a veteran person, right? Let's do workshop. Who want to come for my workshop? Someone Gina, you want to charge so high. I said, but you're a veteran, your price should be double my premium or whatever,
Yeah.
And then we try it out. And then she said, hey, I can do that once every 3 months.
Uh-huh.
I said, but the money is only enough for 1 month's 1,500.
Oh, uh-huh.
Then she said,
Savings mah?
Then she said, but work so hard, I'm very tired, I'm very old already. And then, but it just gave me a deep insight of how sometimes we don't have to overthink retirement.
Uh-huh.
You need a roof over your head, but
Yes.
everything else you can figure out. The only problem is when you don't have a roof over your head
Yes.
and you're renting. And at the age of 80, you don't feel like moving 101 times. And it's harder to rent when you're old because they scared you die in their house.
I never thought about that.
Then,
No, but I think that is true. The roof over your head. I was watching this documentary one day and this lady decided she was going to, and this was in Singapore, right? She was going to sell her place and buy a cheaper one later, which never happened. Because after a while, she realized that she's eating into her whatever she
Savings or
sold.
whatever is it, yeah.
And then she couldn't get a loan to buy a smaller place and she ended up being homeless. So I think even like once there was a friend who said, I'm going to retire already, then I'm going to sell my house. I'm like, wait. Sell your house means what? because she said sell my house and then go travel. I'm like, wait, sell your house. And then she said, no lah, then I'll buy in a smaller place. Okay lah, if you straight away have a place you're going to
Correct.
buy, you know that, and then you're going to have extra on top of that, can. But please don't go and...
I think at the end of a day, when you think about retirement, you should at least have the security of roof over your head, right? Because there's so many things that comes with renting.
Yeah.
You don't have the energy to move it. You don't have the money to
Yes.
keep moving and all these
I
things.
think so too.
Bare minimum, you should be secure lah.
Okay, but what do you think of senior assisted living?
It's also doable.
But that's
That
like
means
kind of
you-
like renting also because you are paying a monthly.
But they don't kick you out. What? You're paying. You're a customer. And it's
True
not
lah,
cheap.
but you need the money.
The cheapest now is 8,000 a month, you know. But you
Yeah,
have
that's
friends
all.
there lah and everything lah.
Mm.
And they don't mind you dying there lah.
Okay.
I mean, it's an option, but it's more expensive than owning your own place option lah.
True lah.
You know, because like recently there's so many in our family and some of them had to move there. 8,000, 10,000 if you need medical assistance. Or 12. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still a lot of money. So it's really planning ahead when it comes to this.
So we went from don't overthink it to
Yeah.
to thinking about it.
But like, be wise about it lah. I mean, don't ignore it.
Betul.
Think about it, but don't overthink it and don't ignore it. You know, I think that's quite important. So if you ask me, I thought about this question and that's why I thought about let's move out KL. Because I know that the gig economy might not support me when I grow. I
Okay.
mean, at the end of the
Might
day,
not support a KL
KL
cost of
retirement
living.
lifestyle, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because unlike you, like, how many workshop can I do? Okay? Or how many things can... It's a very different
You got
economy.
more skills, you know.
It's a very different economy. And then my skills require me to have gadgets, equipments.
And that will
Yours
like,
is
kind of
just
like,
your voice. You get what I mean? Like, I said, hey, okay, in order to write, okay, let's buy the laptop. Or if I teach you video editing,
Typewriter lah.
let's take the laptop or the tripod and whatever. Not that is for me. My skills require
some gadgets lah.
Yeah,
huh?
investment investment. But yeah, so it's very different point of view. So I was really looking at moving out was because I was calculating ahead of time lah. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about lah. Now that you mentioned so many stories. Okay, one last one, but let's keep it short.
Still got I thought you said last one 3 times already. Okay. Come.
What is the one financial tip you wish you learned sooner? For me, it's investment.
Don't know lah. Haven't learned it yet.
There you go. Today's money talk is brought to you by Juwita, who says she haven't learned it yet.
Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by 2 Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff. Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juwita Suwito and Gina Yoong. Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105. Remember to click like and subscribe for a brand new episode next week.